in S3 is used by the software developers mostly. That means that developer is basically using that word that uploading data on a S3 bucket. And I'll see here, I'll give example. This is your S3. This is your kind of developer. And developer is keeping the data into a small bucket. Bucket under your S3. A black circle is what? S3. Into that you can have multiple buckets. And bucket should be what? On a base of region. Remember this point. Now, if I want to store the data, the developer is there here, and we guided that developer need to store whatever the data static website have you completed. That means HTML, CSS, JavaScript or something here. When they complete, they need to put the data to where? In S3 bucket. Now you store the data, and now the customer review. Before I go with hosting, the customer need to what? Customer review is required. When the customer reviews a particular website, whether it's okay or not. So the customer found that the themes is not good. The button sizes should be very small, should be like bigger, and you have to use the logo properly. The size of the logo should be good. The phone number should be corrected. So they are giving some kinds of instruction that there are a lot of changes into that. Please do it. So again, the web goes to where? Developer. Again, they are using same file, whatever they have, index.html or something. They are changing again, and they are uploading to what? Second time. So automatically, the first file become what? Version 1. Second file will become what? Version 2. Again, if something changes, version 3. Whatever that they are doing, so the same file, multiple times, if they do changes, S3 can automatically identify and can say what? Can keep version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. It's going to be multiple copies. Definitely, it increases the storage capacity, the charges, but it's going to be what? Reliable. If customer says, oh, please can you just make it version 2. Earlier we have developed something V2. Can you keep that only? That's okay, fine. You're not going to recode again. You're not going to do again modification. You can switch directly version 4 to version 2. That means it's going to be very easy to revert back to the different version, and it's going to be easy to have what? The backup copy. If any website, like if the website version 4 is not working or having some loss, there is no issue. Again, you have version 3 to be operated. But while versioning is what? Basically, whatever, how many times you do changes and what are changes, you need to keep a record. That's why versioning is required. Is it clear? S3 is a version control or not?
Yes.
So when to enable this? When the data which is stored and which is multiple times, frequently you do changes and you again upload it. Same file name. You do changes, you upload it. So definitely whenever we have a kind of standard procedure is what? In a disk you have a file 1 already, and uploading again file 1 from the pen drive. So it will say already is there one file. Do you want to duplicate? Do you want to replace it? So now replacing is not a solution. So what I want it should be versioning, multiple version 1, version 2, version 3. So that's going to be good for a developer frequently who change that particular file multiple times in the same file name. So that's going to be version control. And S3 is providing any kind of encryption security. Yes, that is called what? Encryption. Bucket policy. There are two options used in S3 making security. What kind of security? Are you able to see my screen, pen screen, online?
Yes, sir. We are able to see.
Yes. I
Yes,
want
sir.
to give out access to my public user now. That means I want a specific data here. I want to create one more bucket. I want to say what? Agreements or whatever the documents and MOU I have created with the customer or my clients. I want this can be shared to my advocates, lawyers. I want they should access it. Okay. So now I want what? The lawyer should access this document. That means authorized person, authorized body. No one should access. Should I create this bucket as a private or public?
Private.
Right? But this I want to host a website. I want worldwide everyone should access this website. Public or private?
Public.
Public.
Sometimes you do public, sometimes you do private. You have to understand what kind of data to be exposed. Customer requirement. Fine. Now I read this, but I want that the lawyer can read. They cannot delete these files. I want what? Restrictions. They can access the data, but they should not able to what? Delete. Only read.
Right.
Or they can download, but they cannot delete it. So I want to keep the restriction. I want to keep the restriction. Is it possible? Yes. I want to define some restrictions again. I want to say IP address based access. That means giving access. The lawyer should available on a company. Example is if it is company lawyer or company kind of person who is sitting inside the company, then they can access. If they go outside, they should not access this. It's a highly official. The company policy is what? The employees can access the data within the organization. When you go outside, no, you cannot this. So, but they are working from home, even though I don't want to go with this, but when they come to the office, and I want to go for what? Access. So can I put restrictions? Yes. I can keep IP address based restrictions or delete restriction, what they can do, what they cannot do, all the restriction I can do, and even user wise restrictions. In IAM, I have created a username P1, P2, P3 something. And even P1, P2, P3, I can define what they can do that. Read, write, access or something. I can define all the permissions. Can they manage the settings? That means S3 having settings. Creating one more bucket, creating folder, creating files, one more uploading files. Can they do changes on bucket level? No. I want to restrict it. So how is it possible to restrict all those things? Answer is what? There's a feature in Amazon like S3 is called what? Bucket policy. In interview question they can ask you, I want to restrict the data to a specific user. I want to restrict to a data like user with a specific IP address. So how is it possible? Which feature I'm going to use? Which feature I'm going to use? Bucket policy. Bucket? You can simply say bucket policy with the help of bucket policy. And now I want to do encryption. Encryption means a hacker reached to your S3 bucket and they want to access the bucket and they want to modify the file. They don't want to delete. They don't want to do something, but they want to modify the files. Is it possible to have an encryption here? Because data encryption is a word protection from tampering. Remember this point. In ransom attack, write down ransom attack. You know ransom attack? Ransomware. It's a kind of virus. It's a kind of threat. Ransomware. Ransomware, write down this point. Ransomware is attack name. Basically, what exactly ransomware attack? It's not intention to delete the files. It's not intention to disturb the files. It will do what? It will silently come and edit the files and lock the files, or it will lock the files. It will lock the files. So my important files, Excel file or MS Word files or something which is very important and daily I used to use. But hacker or virus did what? Lock the file and says what? If you want to access this file, you have to transfer money to my account, then I can unlock the file. That kind of attack is called what? Ransomware. Ransom means demanding how much money you want, blackmailing, restricting your own data, restricting your own file, and saying that I'll unlock it if you pay me. That is called what? Ransomware. So that protection can be done by what? If you want to defend the ransomware or any kind of like virus which can affect the files, you can say what? Use protect. Using what? Encryption. What is that? Encryption. In interview question, please write down all those things. If someone asks you, if I want to restrict the users, who can access, who cannot access, what they can do, what they cannot do, what they can do, how can we do that? You said simple word, bucket policy. But when you want to say that ransomware attack should not be done to my data, so what kind of protection I'm going to use? Encryption. Encryption. I have to enable what? Encryption on bucket. When you do encryption, automatically encrypted data will be encrypted and will not be access given to what? Any unauthorized users. Is it okay, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, in bucket policy, you can just make a point, small point. Bucket policy is a custom permission by using JSON script. What script are you going to use? JSON. I'll show you what is JSON. But you say when you want to define your custom policy, your own policy, you're going to use bucket policy by using JSON script. JSON. Now, the next feature is what? Lifecycle of storage classes. Lifecycle of storage classes. What do you mean by lifecycle of storage? These are the features of S3. We can utilize it. So Amazon says that lifecycle means a kind of automation process will be configured on a bucket to you can say that to make classes to be what? Transfer. That means it should be what? Change. Example, Amazon is offering the classes. How many classes they are offering? We'll see here. How many classes?
7 classes.
Right. The numbers is very important. So you can quickly say to your interviewer. So Amazon S3 is having classes. Classes means storage categories. Amazon is maintaining the storage 1, cheaper storage, more costlier, then more costlier, more costlier, more costlier, and having different features. If your data storing in S3 and the frequently access is there, frequently means continuously, a lot of 100,000 people are accessing the video, audio, something. So are you going to go for standard or intelligent? One zone. Standard is the best. Costly, level 9 durability, and faster. For a frequent data. What is that? Frequent access. Write down this. S3 classes. What are the classes? Standard. So we are giving this standard here. Right? Write down please. Now, so next class is what? If my traffic, my users are accessing a lot of data. Example, I can say I have an insurance company. I'm working for an insurance company, and the insurance company says that we have a lot of customers document, right? So we have a KYC and we have a kind of document. They have Aadhaar card, their passport, or there's a PAN card, and the application form they have filled and everything we have. I want this hard copy to be uploaded to what? Storage. And this data for 1 month, internal official people access frequently, and 100,000 people are there, sales team and other teams, finance team. They're going to access and they're going to analyze the data. They want this kind of data to be read. So 1 month. That means how many people? A lot of people are accessing frequently. And after 1 month, there is no need to go with that. Right? There is no need to go for frequent tasks. That means 100,000 people are not going to access. Only few managers will access this after 1 month. And then say that after 1 month, few managers are there going to use it. Infrequent access. Sometime Monday, Tuesday, but sometime Thursday, Friday, sometimes Saturday, sometimes someone, but it's not regular. But initially the company says that, the process is that we need 1 month very quick access, frequently access people are going to use daily, huge. But after 1 month, it's going to be only few peoples for some time, right? Not every time. Is it clear? Am I audible to everyone online?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir, can you?
I have a doubt. Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Sir, can we change the classes later on or midway?
No worries. Hold on your question. You can easily go, right? I'm coming with the point. Our topic
Fine,
is
sir.
what? Life cycle. So I'm explaining what is life cycle of storage, right? So first you need to understand the classes.
Fine, sir.
Now, frequent, infrequent. The keyword is what? To differentiate frequent and infrequent. So when I have a lot of traffic frequently, then I'll go for what? Standard. When I'm infrequent, I'll go for standard IA. IA means infrequent access. The word. So the company says after 1 month, maybe managers few like frequently, like not frequently, they're going to access sometime, and it's going to be cheaper than what? Standard, because the performance is less in standard IA. And we have one more class called intelligent tier. Intelligent tier means company is not able to say that, predict that. So sometime huge traffic, a lot of people are accessing the data. Sometime not accessing data, but suddenly Saturday, Sunday, they're accessing more. But Monday, Tuesday, no one. But Wednesday, Thursday, a lot of people are accessing. But again, when you see next week, Monday, Tuesday, a lot of people are activity. That means I'm not understanding when they are coming high, spike, and slow. The traffic is increase and decrease, and a lot of people are accessing the data. So when I'm not able to decide, I'll say intelligent tier. So it will automatically swap, sometimes standard, sometimes standardized. That time I have to go for intelligent tier. When to go with that? When you are not able to decide whether it's a frequent or infrequent, right? You don't know about the duration, how they are using. So that time you go for intelligent tier. So software, the S3 machine learning technique will be applied to the intelligent tier. So automatically it will analyze that particular access. On the base of that, it will swap to standard sometimes, swap to standard IA sometimes. So why we are going with that? Because we don't know about the traffic pattern. It's cheaper. It's depend on what tier. Intelligent tier is what? Swapping. When you keep in standard, it's going to be more. If it is keeping standard IA, less cost. So now, one zone standard IA in infrequent access. When you have infrequent access, but the differences between standard infrequent access and one zone standard infrequent access is what? Example, you have a kind of what? Data now, the company says that after 1 month, that's going to be infrequent access. And after 2 months, it's going to what? We don't require the data. If the data loss also, there is no problem to the company, because the policy of the company, whatever the data uploaded, it's not no need to use in the project, right? It's not going to be affect to the company. But still, 5% chance are there, some people can access. But keep it for again 3 months. That means total 5 months. So now, one zone standard IA, I'll keep into where, because it's very cheaper, it's a one zone. But standard IA and standard will keep into how many zones? 3 zones. That's definitely is going to be costly. But standard one zone standard IA means what? Performance like a IA, but durability is less. Why? Because it is not keeping the data into multiple zones. Because my company does not require after 3 months, they don't want to go for what? They don't want to store into frequent standard IA. And data is lost also, there is no problem. So definitely we'll go for what? One zone, because the cost will be different. If one standard is going to charge you US dollar 1 rupee or $1 and your standard IA is charging what, 0.5 US dollar, and your one zone standard IA charging what, 0.2. So it's very cheaper. So depending on the use cases, you have to get different classes. It's because of what? Performance and durability. And glacier instant, glacier flexible, glacier deep. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 classes are there. So now instant and flexible and deep. So this all are glacier. Glacier is basically what is a, basically you can make a point. Glacier class is for what? Archiving solution, backups. If you want to store data for long duration, that is 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, you want to store and you want to just forget. You want to use it, you want to take back when something happened to original data, but you want to keep the data backup for long duration. Nobody is accessing the data, just keeping. If something happened to my primary data, then I'm going to access it. That time, I choose Glacier. It can be instant, it can be flexible, it can be deep. There are difference of performance in days. Sorry. Glacier used for what? Backup solution, archive. You can say archive solution. Archive means what? ARCHIV. Archive solution for backups, for long duration. If you want to store the data for long duration, no one is going to access for 1 year or 6 months. Like example, you have a CCTV video recording and you want to take a backup. Where do you keep? Standard or Glacier? CCTV backups. CCTV backup, once you do, no one is going to watch until some incident happen. If any crime happen, then you have to make a playback. Getting point? That if it is not happen and it's going to be stored for long, company policy, they want to keep 36 months, 3 months or something. So this way, you go for what? For long duration, you keep what? Glacier. Is it clear now, classes?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Come to the point of what? The question is what? From here. Life cycle of storage classes. Life cycle means automatic swapping the classes from one to other. That means if I want to swap from standard to standard IA, I want to do standard to one zone, sometime Glacier. I want to define specific days, keep the data into 1 month for specific day. I want to do automation. I don't want to do manual because it's not only one bucket. I have hundreds of buckets are there, and out of 100 buckets, 50 buckets need to be swap the data. I need to care about swapping the data from standard to standard IE. So if I do the manually, it's going to be complicated for me. I need to remember the dates. So why not to make automation to the S3? Why not to give the S3? Please, I'm specifying the date of transferring or swapping the data from this class to other class. Yes, you can swap the data anytime from one class to other class. Is it clear? Your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Swapping from one class to other class. Example I stored initially standard. So tomorrow or 1 month, after 1 month, a lot of people are not accessing, infrequent access. Then I change the class because to save the money. Because standard is very costly. Why to keep standard? Why not keep it standard IA? And one more point, data replication. One more point, make a point is what? Data replication. Data Replication. Replication means what? Copying process. Data replication. Or you can say bucket replication. Bucket replication. What is this? Replication means what? Continuous copy process is called what? Replication. From one bucket to other bucket. Regardless of what? Region or account. So sometimes I need to do what? Replication of the bucket. So what I need to do? The manager says that the data is very, very important, very crucial data. If the company lose this data, they'll have a billions of money loss. So now Amazon says what? The data is highly durable into S3. That means it's a regional wise. If you store into North Virginia having 3 zones, it will copy in 3 zones. If the zone is corrupted, there is no problem. If the zone disaster, there is no problem. Data will be available for you. But imagine that the region, North Virginia got corrupted, got disaster, having disaster, because maybe like natural disaster, maybe kind of like here, civil war, or sometime it's going to be a cyclone or fire or any kind of internal network issues or any kind of problem. When the disaster comes, your region is completely off. If the region is off, where is the data? Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, everything is off. So now, but your manager, project manager says, data is highly confidential and very important. You should not take a chance. Don't depend on the zone. Make it what? Region level. Whatever you copy into this North Virginia, developers or testing engineer, if they are copying into something here, you have to copy where? You have to copy into where? You have to copy into multiple regions. Automatically North Virginia to California. I want to copy to what? California. It's not class, it's a region. Class-wise we have done for saving the data, saving the cost. But zone is basically for what? Durability, region level. But if you want to copy the data and you want to protect the data, if the region also got corrupted, but I want to protect it, what is the solution? You have to enable bucket replication. What is the feature called? Bucket replication. So when you say bucket replication, it will ask you, where's your bucket and where do you want to copy? I'll say North Virginia is my bucket and bucket should be copied into what? California. So whatever the data testing engineer or DevOps engineer or developers, they're keeping the data under the particular bucket, so it will automatically copy to what? California. If something happened in future, North Virginia got some disaster, it's not working, and Amazon says sorry, but you lost. So this guidance given by the Amazon itself, that you can make a design of your different scenarios, then you can replicate the data from one bucket to the bucket. Is it clear? Bucket replication.
Yes, sir.
Online.
Yes, sir.
Understand
Yes,
the
sir.
definition, when to use this, when to go with this, right? Replication, bucket policy, encryption, version control, public-private bucket. Got it? Data event. What is this? Data event. There's a like very core features what I'm explaining into S3. So depending on a scenario, you can use it. What is data event? Data event is basically a kind of feature of S3 bucket where I want to do another action on the base of what? S3 action. Example, someone upload the data. The developer is uploading the data here into this bucket. What kind of data? They're uploading CSV files, database file, CSV file, or sometimes they are storing some Java file, sometimes they're using Python file. So I want that S3 should, whenever someone upload the data into this bucket, I want to say event, data event should be enabled on this bucket. So if it is CSV file, I want that if someone uploads this CSV file, Amazon having a kind of one more service called what? Lambda service. Lambda service. I want if anyone upload this file into this bucket, the S3 buckets should send a request to Lambda service. That means one service is talking on a service on the base of what? Some events. In the bucket, some file comes, and I want, please monitor this bucket. If someone uploads CSV file, execute the Lambda function. S3 is executing the function of what? Lambda. Lambda will have certain Python code which can say what? To perform another action. So whenever you're doing data processing means one action finished, then second action should be done. Second action comes, then third action should be done. Third action done, then fourth action. That is called data processing. Data processing. So I want this data processing should be automatically done by S3 with a combination of Lambda. But we don't know about Lambda right now. I'm just giving an hint why data event is going to use. Data event is going to be used. Is it clear point? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Like I have one question, sir. Like whenever we are storing some files in the S3 bucket, it will trigger to Lambda only, Lambda itself, or any other functions can be used there.
Mostly we have only Lambda.
Okay.
Mostly you have one more Lambda. One more service is called what? SNS. SNS means simple notification services. What is that? One more service called what? Simple notification. That means you don't want to perform any action. That means you don't want to do another action, but you want to go for what? You want to send email or SMS, email notification to someone for the team. Then SNS can be used. That means your data event can be integrated with what? SNS service can be integrated with what? Lambda service. So your S3 can trigger to SNS or Lambda to send email or SMS notification to the customers or clients, or it can be what? Internal data processing work. It will execute some Python code, and Python code can have some other functions. Is it clear now? Data events?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I've written the point, example with example. For data processing, further data processing, the data events can trigger to the Lambda. Lambda can trigger to another service. That's goes on. And it can only for trigger, only for SNS only. SNS means what? For sending email or notification. Whenever someone uploaded Java file or Python file, I want to notify to a team, please pick your files. Someone uploaded Java file. Java developer will get notification. And Python developer will get notification that Python file is uploaded by team 1. Please take the file from the S3. Notification, email or SMS. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So these are the features. What we have explained something about a lot of terminology: bucket, what's the control, encryption, bucket policy, life cycle, data event, data replication, data So am I able to see everyone now? Are you available online? No. I hope it's clear up to here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Part what? And like we got an understanding about the future of what? S3 service, right? What are the features of S3? What is encryption? What is private bucket? What is public bucket? What is life cycle? What is data events? What is data replication? What is we can say versioning? Why do we do this versioning? When you have the data which is frequently needed needed uploads, and same file is uploaded after changing a lot of times. As the best example is what? Website data. So you have to enable versioning on a bucket. It will duplicate. It will duplicate the file multiple times as you change. Automatically, you don't need to do the manually. It will keep multiple record, latest version of a copy. Is it clear now? Any question for me before conclude?
No, sir.
Sir, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Uh, Sir, we are maintaining that files in S3 bucket. Why are you maintaining data events? What is the purpose? Like only for tracking the files who has uploaded, or any other reason we are using data events?
Data events is not maintaining the copy. That means, example, you have a bucket, you have a kind of project, right? One bucket you have created for the website hosting, okay? And one bucket you hosted for what? A kind of keeping a documents. One bucket you have kept forward backups, only just storing backup. And one bucket you have created that if Python developers need some data, the files, database file. So they want to integrate the database file. So they are waiting for the database file which should be uploaded by the database administrators. So, but we don't know the date, time, when they are going to finish. If they finish, they'll upload. Whenever they upload it, the database administrator should not email or SMS to the team, Python team, hey, I uploaded, please check out and get the data from S3. Take the data from S3. So they don't bother. So I want it should be automated by my S3 itself. Whenever someone uploads the file, CSV file, it should be notified to what? My team, Python developer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And data processing. Lambda can be integrated.
Yes, sir.
Only understand the scenarios and use cases, what you are going to do. Then the practical is going to be very easy for you. I'm going to show you version controlling practical, public private buckets, website hosting, life cycle I'll show you, bucket policy I'll show you, because they'll ask these questions. Done? So now what we'll do is, up to today is going to be 9 now. So now we are going to conclude the session. And now you're going to have what? S3, EFS, EBS practical. First S3 practical, because S3 having a lot of practicals. But your EFS, only one mounting process. That's going to be very easy for you. They are not having a lot of features, but S3 having a lot of access by testing engineers, developers, DevOps engineers, machine learning, a lot of people, data analytics, they use what? S3 as a storage service. Done? We'll
Yes, sir.
fine. Please memorize this. When I ask this question, you have to be ready. Okay? Memorize this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
This basically your VPC, EC2 or storage are very core subject. Once you did this, then all the services other than services are fully managed and very easy to do that. That means your cloud formation, or you have a kind of Lambda, and you have a service called what backup, and you have a service called what Route 2 to 3, CloudFront, SSL service. It's going to be easy for you. You'll get definitely. But wait for this. Okay. One day we'll take a practicals. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
हाँ जी. हेलो. हेलो. वालेकुम सलाम. आ रही हो? क्या बोले? ठीक है. हाँ. ठीक है. कितना कितना हो रहा है? ये टेस्ट करो. ऑनलाइन देखो, चेक करो. चेक करो. एक बार चेक करो ऑनलाइन. चेक करो. मेरे को टेस्ट का नाम डालो. मेरे को एक बार व्हाट्सएप टेस्ट का नाम डालो. तो तुम प्रैक्टिकल वाला कुछ करो बड़ा अच्छा. EC2, VPC and storage. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सर्विस है. कोर सर्विस है. बाकी आसान होते हैं. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कुछ बता. इसके ऊपर अच्छा वर्क करना. सॉरी. 25 हो सकता है तो अगस्त फर्स्ट वीक हो सकता है. जाके प्रोजेक्ट है तो करके वापस आना. 1 मंथ 2 मंथ होता है. दुबई जाना. डेटा इंजीनियर और डेवऑप्स के ऊपर पूरा मिलके छे हो. एक्चुअली मैं ट्रेनिंग डिलीवर करना उनके पास. उनके जो एम्प्लॉयज है ना इंटरनेट तो लोग. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. जी जी मैं एक छोटे की हमारे बार बार रिपीट होते जा रहा हो, बार बार रिपीट हो रहा तो चेक करा तो प्रोफाइल टेस्ट करो। एक चार्जिंग हो गया जी, 72 आवर्स जी, 101, 101, 102 लास्ट, 101, 102, 1 हाँ जी, स्टार्ट कर। अच्छा, मलकपेट का लोकेशन है मुसलम बाग। अच्छा ठीक है, ठीक है, मैं बता देता हूँ। ठीक है, ठीक है। 8 ईयर्स, 8 ईयर्स, 8 ईयर्स, 8 साल का। इंशाल्लाह, इंशाल्लाह। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। हाँ, हाँ, किसको? कौन? भाई, हाँ, अभी अभी करते हैं। हाँ तो करो, हाँ तो बोलो। हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। क्या देखें ऑनलाइन, देखें, देखें ऑनलाइन। ठीक है, अभी कैसा है? ये अभी जो है ना, मेरे एक दोस्त है, उनका काम वही है। मेरे दोस्त है, उनका काम ये है, मतलब घर पे आते टेस्ट करा के देते रिपोर्ट्स। तो उनको कॉल किया अभी, ऐसा मसला है, तो कल आता 9 बजे आता हूँ। ये वायरल चल रहा करते 72 आवर्स का था करते थे, मतलब 24 बोलते जाना कि हाँ 4 दिन 5 दिन रहता करते थे। तो वायरल चल रहा, बोल के बताया मैं। एज क्या है? 8 साल है ना? 8 साल है। तो उनको बोलो कि भाई क्या है, और रिपोर्ट कब आती है बोल के पूछ लो एक बार। दिए तो कब रिपोर्ट आती है? कल रिपोर्ट सुबह आया तो फिर कल का ही काम हो रहा ना, वो फिर शाम में जाके इतना शायद नहीं बताना चाहिए। तो पहले मेडिसिन वगैरह क्या है वो बराबर है ना? वो तो दे रहे सो दवाई ले ली, फिर से दिया ना? ठीक है, ठीक है, दे लो। हाँ जी, उनसे कराएंगे दोस्त। आते घंटे 9 बजे आते घंटे। हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। और इस्लाम लोकेशन भेजो घर का। ठीक है, इस्लाम 700 रुपये। आने के तो टाइम लगता नज़दीक में से घर के पास निकल देगा तो बोल। क्या कर, ग्रेजुएट करें? ग्रेजुएशन नहीं करें? इवेंट मतलब मार्केटिंग कैसे कर, क्या बोलेंगे? अच्छा, ऐसा इवेंट क्या करते हैं, मतलब वो शो करते हैं, रोडों बदल के साइडों में चल के जाना, उसका एडवर्टाइजमेंट करते हैं, रन करके किसी को फ्री देते हैं या किसी उसको प्रमोट करते हैं, बोलते अच्छा है ये, वो अच्छा ऐसा है, ये अपने को चाहिए। मैं अब जा रहा हूँ ना, अभी दूसरी टीम है अपनी जो कॉलेज से कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं, तो मेरे अलावा जो ना कोई दूसरे रहेंगे यहाँ पर, हम IBM में काम कर रहे हैं, IBM कंपनी में काम, तो उन्होंने यहाँ रहेंगे, तो उन्होंने कम्युनिकेट करेंगे। लेकिन यहाँ बैठने के लिए डेली कॉलिंग वगैरह करने के लिए चाहिए हैदराबाद। आए मुझे नहीं, पर आगे एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है लोगों को, उनके साथ में सिखाते बैठना उनको, ऐसा नज़दीक तुम्हारा एरिया नज़दीक है ना, दूर से आ रहे हैं यहाँ से, आपके न्यू मलकपेट से आ रहे हैं या तो और दूर से आ रहे हैं, फैदाबाद से आ रहे हैं, दूर है थोड़ा, फैदाबाद बोलते हैं पूना करीबन, वहाँ से टाइम लग रहा है, ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं है ना बराबर। इधर से तो क्या होता है, मेट्रो ट्रांसपोर्ट अलग है, यहाँ से ट्रांसपोर्ट अलग है, दूसरे घर पर ट्रांसपोर्ट अच्छा है, गए 2 मिनट आते हैं। तुम्हारी प्रैक्टिस ना कर